Bowe Holyfield 2.5 months away, but their promotion is in full swing.
November 4th, I asked him, is he ready?
Anything you want to tell?
I will be ready.
Tell him, Ben.
Yeah, well, how long? I think you're both going to be ready, but how long are you going to fight? How many rounds are you going to go?
Well, that depends on him. How long can he take a beating?
No, I'm not getting any younger, but I'm getting better, though. I have 2 more fights after this fight, and I'm going to look better each and every fight.
Bowe Holyfield 3 still slated for November 4th. Mike Tyson against an opponent to be named later, quite possibly Buster Mathis Jr., still also slated for November 4th. Robin?
Well, nothing like a surprise birthday party. You just have to be careful who's on the guest list. Look at Riddick Bowe, birthday number 28, and Evander Holyfield shows up. They'll fight, of course, for the 3rd time, November 4th. Holyfield brought a little gift, a cake with a message, filled with hot peppers, too, maybe. And since Bowe refused to take a break from training on his birthday, Evander helped out, playing pin the gloves on Riddick. So, you know, that's always a fun game to play on your birthday.
Next on Up Close, heavyweight champion Riddick Bowe responds to the rap that he's yet to live up to his promising talent. Hi, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Chris Myers here in Los Angeles. In a moment, heavyweight champion Riddick Bowe joins us here in the studio to discuss his upcoming fight against Evander Holyfield. Up next on Up Close, heavyweight champ Riddick Bowe, how badly does he want to fight Mike Tyson? First, he has to take care of Evander Holyfield. Don't go away. Welcome back to the program. We're live with Riddick Bowe. Has a busy week ahead of him as he gets ready for the rubber match against Evander Holyfield. Welcome to the program, Riddick. It's good to see you again.
Glad to be here.
All right, so the rubber match in this Holyfield series that has taken place. Why have you deemed this the most important fight in your career?
Well, I guess Evander Holyfield's the only guy that ever beat me. And I feel like I need to redeem myself.
But your career, you've certainly done a lot more than just to be judged on this one upcoming fight.
Well, that's true. I just think that Evander Holyfield motivates me most than anybody out there.
But he hasn't really done a whole lot other than when he's battled you. He had that forced retirement, as he referred to it. Tell me about that first fight.
Well, I think the first fight for myself, I had an opportunity to prove to a lot of people that Riddick Bowe was serious and he was the best heavyweight in the world.
You beat him in 92, and they had one of the classic rounds. It was a crazy go-nuts kind of battle. Then you come back, and you lose a year later to him. How can there be that much of a difference in Riddick Bowe? And that's how people, I think, viewed that fight from one year to the next with the same opponent.
Well, I think that Evander was more determined in that fight. I didn't give myself the best opportunity. And he had stopped the decision, even though I didn't think he won. But, you know, I'm not going to take any away from him. They say he won, so he won the fight.
Did you train any differently?
Well, I think so, opposed to the first fight. But what I've done for the 3rd fight is go back to the things that enabled me to beat Evander Holyfield the first time.
And what are some of those things?
I mean, counter shots. I mean, just being in great shape and pretty much being prepared for whatever he has to offer.
What does being in great shape for Riddick Bowe mean?
I guess coming in about 240, 242, 243.
And what do you weigh at this moment?
About 245.
Oh, okay. So you don't eat the rest of the way. You're not running out to lunch after this.
We got a week and a half to go, and I think with running and the finishing up training will allow me to come in at that weight.
How about the rap on you that you should have accomplished more for where you are in your career, that you're a great fighter, but that you just haven't fulfilled the potential that the talent, with the talent you have? Is that a fair criticism?
No, it's not fair. I don't see how people can say that. I mean, we try to fight the best out there. You can't make anyone fight you, so I don't see how they can say that, you know, I should have accomplished more. I think I've done pretty well.
Are you the best heavyweight? Some say you're the best heavyweight around.
Well, some people are smart if they consider me the best heavyweight.
But to prove that, what do you have to do?
I don't know. I mean, you can't please everybody, so, I mean, you take it all with a grain of salt and just try to be the best you can be. I wish that I can have more opposition like Jorge Luis Gonzalez, because I feel like, and Evander Holyfield, because I feel like those people can bring the best out of me.
How about Mike Tyson?
I think Mike Tyson also. I think Mike Tyson is the ultimate, you know, for myself. All he had is Frazier and his listen and things of that nature. And I think Tyson would present the same type of challenge for me.
When do you think you'll fight Tyson? How realistic?
Sometime soon. Hopefully the beginning of next year or sometime.
Really? So you really believe you're going to fight him at some point?
Well, I would like to, but again, you know, it's up to Tyson, and we'll see what happens.
Have you tried to talk to him about this?
Well, not really. I let my manager Rock Newman do, you know, all the talking. I just do the fight, and so hopefully he can, you know, get these guys to sit at the table and eventually pull it together.
Did you think Mike Tyson is the fighter he was before he went into prison?
He has the ability to be the same fighter he used to be. I mean, you give him time and let him train, and you get the right people in front of him, he can recapture the public's imagination.
If you laid off for a 3-year period of fighting, what would you lose first?
Well, I think your judgment, your body tends to get soft. I mean, it takes a while to get used to taking punches again. So it takes a little while to get back to where you were at the beginning.
And Mike Tyson, you think, when you saw, of course, we couldn't really judge anything in the Peter McNeely fight.
Too short.
Yes, obviously. What'd you think of that fight?
I thought Tyson gave a good account of himself, but...
How could he? It was over in a minute he stepped in there.
Well, he looked like the old vintage Tyson, but again, the fight was over too quickly. But I think if we had somebody in front of Tyson that can push him 4 or 5 rounds, then we would have seen what he was really made of.
You think it's important that Mike Tyson fight somebody that gives him at least a good fight as he progresses?
I think so, because, you know, if you don't fight these type of guys, and then when you fight someone who's real tough, I mean, you're lost. You take guys' offenses. Prior to fighting me, he fought no one that came close to me. I mean, that can, you know, hurt him and shake him up and things of that nature. And then when he fought me, he was lost.
Do you think that incident gave boxing a further black eye? I mean, the sport is pretty much black and blue from all the abuse that it's taken, and much of it well-deserved. But that particular incident, it was an embarrassment for the sport.
What incident is that?
Well, Mike Tyson going in against Peter McNeely in a fight that was not really a fight.
Well, that's true too, but I thought that, you know, they had to be careful with Tyson. You know, his first fight out, you don't know how he's going to look and things like that. So they had to put somebody in front of him that, you know, he could beat.
Yeah, but don't you think it's important that Mike fight worthy opponents? If he's one of the best fighters, shouldn't he take on guys that are a little bit more capable?
Well, you got to give Mike the opportunity to get back to where he was at one point, and then once they feel like he can handle, you know, tougher opposition, then he would fight him.
Have you went and saw Mike Tyson when he was in prison? Mm-hmm. And what did you say to him at that time?
Oh, we just pretty much reminisced about the old days back in Brownsville and things of that nature, and how much fun it would be when he came home.
And have you talked to him since he's been out?
No, but I've gotten word from him that he says hello and things of that nature.
No, but have you tried to talk to him?
No, not really. You know, I figure, you know, when he got home, he needed to, you know, get reacclimated to being free and things of that nature, and to get used to being around people and just having fun. I didn't want to, you know, bug him or anything like that.
All right, he holds the WBO heavyweight championship. When will Riddick Bowe fight someone who holds the title in one of the 3 major governing bodies in the sport of boxing? We'll ask him that when we continue live up close from Los Angeles with Riddick Bowe. Ever since tossing the WBC belt into the garbage can in '92, the WBC has refused to rank Riddick Bowe. In fact, all 3 of the ruling bodies have pretty much alienated Riddick, and he is with us live here in Los Angeles. Do you regret your actions?
Not at all. I think at that particular point, at that time in my career, that was the best thing for Riddick Bowe.
Why did you do that?
Well, I felt like the WBC was trying to make me do something that the opponent wasn't trying to let happen. And I just felt like I was in an awkward position. And so I just thought that it was best that I just got rid of the belt.
You and your manager, Rock Newman, have refused to let the governing bodies dictate who you fight next. But isn't that important to play the game, to get in a position where you can be a champion?
Well, it's important, but, you know, you don't dictate to me. I mean, this is why I couldn't wait to finish high school, get out of my mother's house, because you don't tell me what to do. Well, anyways, I mean, Lennox Lewis knew what was going down. He just kept playing these games and things of that nature. And he knew by a certain point, if he didn't fight us, they would strip us. And so that's what happened.
But certainly discipline is important. When you say get out and do what you want to do, you obviously, just like in your training regiment, right, there are certain guidelines. You listen to some people when they direct you in a certain area.
Definitely.
Who do you take the advice of most at this point?
Papa Smurf, better known as Eddie Futch.
Eddie Futch, and he's 81 years old.
84 years
84, okay.
And getting younger.
And so he's getting younger every year. There have been some people in boxing who have questioned his health, his mobility, and how much he can motivate. Certainly he's one of the great boxing minds, we know that. But how much can he still motivate a fighter?
You got to look at it like this in this aspect. But the last fight with Jorge Luis Gonzalez, he motivated me very well, and perhaps he don't move as fast as he used to, but he gets his point across, and he knows exactly what he's talking about. And this guy's had 20 world champions, so obviously he's doing something right.
What has he said to you most about training and preparation for this fight that has stood out?
Pretty much maintaining my focus and using the left hand and things of that nature.
When you say maintaining your focus, what kinds of things cause you to drift away from that focus?
You know, yet being young, you know, I have a tendency to be, he'll be telling me something, and someone may come and I may look at him or you know, whatever. You know, I'm a young guy, so therefore I'm easily distracted.
All right, but mentally, you've been criticized sometimes in fights, actually, for not being all the way in the fight. Has that happened to you before?
Well, I mean, it can happen. I mean, with anybody, perhaps you may read something and something captures your attention, and you just for a second there put attention on that. But for the most part, I'm okay.
But when somebody's slugging away at you, you can't let that happen, right? It could be dangerous out there.
Well, it can be dangerous, but if a guy doesn't hurt me, I think I'm doing okay.
Let's go back to some of the governing bodies. Now, you hold the WBO belt currently as the heavyweight champion. What does that mean to you?
Well, to me, it means that I'm a heavyweight champion of the world. I mean, you have various. I think it's the man who makes the championship, not the championship who makes the man. Look at it like this news stuff. You have Bruce Sutton, who's the WBC champion. You have Frank Bruno, who's the WBC champ, and you got Francois Bolton, someone else about to fight for the IBF champion. I mean, I had the WBO title, and if you compare those guys to me, I mean, there's no comparison.
You've called yourself the people's champion.
Yes, that is correct.
And what does that mean? In the eyes of the public?
That means that the people recognize me as being the heavyweight champion of the world.
But I think most people think that, although some qualify you as the top heavyweight, that Mike Tyson is the guy. So that's why you and him have to actually fight if there's going to be any legitimacy.
Well, I think that could prove to be a big factor, but I think at this point, Tyson needs me more so than I need him because, again, I think people recognize me as the world heavyweight champion of the world.
How much will it get in the way that Don King represents Mike Tyson and Rock Newman is your manager?
I don't think that would prove to be a big factor. I think that Rock is easygoing, and I don't think Don King would, you know, fix the wheels though this fight couldn't be made.
All right, your last fight, a 6th-round knockout of Jorge Gonzalez, who you have mentioned. You called it personal because of the remarks that Jorge made about your family before the fight. Now, how often do fighters take it too far? We know a lot of this is hype, but how often do they go too far?
Well, not often, but I think Gonzalez was very much different, and he wanted to be, I don't know, I guess a renegade or something like that, something different. And he thought by, I guess, making me angry, I would lose my composure in the fight, but the only thing that happened was he energized me.
What did he say? Can you tell us what he said that was so upsetting?
He said that Papa Smurf would have a heart attack. We need to bring a casting to the ring. I wouldn't live long enough to see my last child being born. He said a lot of crazy things.
All right, so and this wasn't part of the hype, the joke with the fight.
Oh, not at all, not at all. He was very serious, and he just shouldn't have said things like that.
All right, but how about Gonzalez, his pre-fight antics? Any worse than when you went after, remember Larry Donald in the press conference before the fight last year?
Well, with Larry, it was an unfortunate incident. I mean, I shouldn't have let my emotions get the best of me. And I apologize to Larry and whoever was involved, and things like that shouldn't happen, and that was unbecoming of myself.
Some people still think those things are staged. That wasn't? That was real?
Oh, that's very real. I mean, I was emotional. You know how you are some mornings you wake up and you just don't feel good. And that just wasn't my day, and I was just angry all day long.
Is it important for you, Riddick, when you do step into the ring to fight, that you are angry?
No, not at all. I mean, that just happened to be one day, one incident. And for the most part, I'm usually calm, cool, and collected.
All right, more with Riddick Bowe, the WBO heavyweight champion. We're live from Los Angeles. More boxing, and later, an update from Jimmy Roberts and the Don King insurance fraud trial from New York. Don't go away. Oh, we're back live here in Los Angeles with Riddick Bowe, and he's showing me pictures of members of his family, 5 children. So what do you tell the kids? I'm going out to beat somebody up, come home from work?
I tell them my daddy's going to work, and for the most part, they understand.
And what are the ages?
9, 7, 5, 1, and 3 months.
Okay, so the older ones obviously get out. Do you like them to be around when you're working out, when you're fighting?
Well, when I'm home and I'm training, I like to have them in the gym and things of that nature. And people ask me, well, would you let your sons fight? Well, I wouldn't encourage it, but if that's what they chose to do, then at that particular time I would support them.
Quite a transition from where you came from, Brooklyn, Brownsville, the neighborhood Mike Tyson. You said you had talked to him when you were in prison. You actually grew up around Mike Tyson. He was in the vicinity. What was he like as a youngster?
Well, Mike Tyson was a rather stocky kid, very quiet, but mischievous and sneaky.
Quiet, never would hurt a soul, right? They always say that about those guys. But did people fear him in the neighborhood when he was a kid?
I don't think they feared him. They just never knew what his reaction would be, so they tend to stay away from him.
But it was a tough neighborhood that you grew up in. Give us some examples of what you were subject to.
Well, there were people standing on the staircase with Uzis on every landing. We lived in a 6-story building. You had to fight your way through the line where people were buying crack and things of that nature. And it was pretty rough for the most part.
And the story of a flower delivery man who showed up at the wrong door.
Well, a guy came to deliver flowers one day, and the next time anyone heard of him, they found him in a dumpster someplace.
Just because he showed up at the wrong place.
Probably the wrong place and the wrong complexion.
Would you be the fighter you are today if you didn't come from that kind of background?
I think so. I think it takes a special type of person to go into the ring and to fight. And I believe that no matter where I came from, I would have that in me.
And how much do you fear for your children or your family that they don't ever have to be subject to that type of neighborhood?
Well, I fear for my life. Well, let me say this to you. I fight hard now so that they don't have to. I don't want them to ever have to go through the things that I went through.
Mike Tyson, at this stage of where you both are in your careers, could you beat Mike Tyson?
Oh, no question, no question. I think the best Riddick Bowe will beat the best Mike Tyson.
Now, let's wrap it up before we close out, talk about Holyfield a little bit. What can we look for in this fight based on what we saw in the first two?
I would have to say pretty much what took place in the first fight. I know Evander's going to be in great shape. I'm going to be in great shape. And we both want to win. So, therefore, I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. But I went back to the things that allowed me to beat him the first time.
All right, and critical for you that you not just beat Holyfield, do you agree with this, that you beat him badly so that you can get in a position to fight some of the champions or Mike Tyson?
Not necessarily. I just need to win. I mean, whether it's by decision or knockout. As long as I look impressive and mediocre, I think I should do okay.
Outside of Mike Tyson, what do you think of the heavyweight division as a whole? Who the greatest or the next greatest challenge is?
I think Evander Holyfield is the next great challenge because he's in front of me, and right now that's what I'm focused on, and he's the most important person right now.
What about that he's too old, that he's just fighting for money?
I don't think a guy like Evander Holyfield would just fight for money. There has to be something in him, you know. I mean, he's a multi-millionaire, the money he don't need, and he saw opportunity to capitalize on something, and he's taking full advantage of it.
Okay, Riddick. Well, good luck next week in the fight against Evander Holyfield, and best to the family as well. All right?
Appreciate it, big guy.
Come back and see us again. Riddick Bowe joining us live here in Los Angeles as he gets ready to take on Evander Holyfield.
In 1992, two great heavyweight champions turned in award-winning performances. When it was over, Riddick Bowe was the new champion. A year later, there was a sequel. It was another classic. This time, Evander Holyfield got his revenge. Bowe and Holyfield will fight again. Only one can be the best heavyweight in the world. Live from Caesar's Palace on pay-per-view, Saturday, November 4th.
Bowe Holyfield 3, Saturday, November 4th. Ordered today.
Number 1 was an all-out attack.
They brawl in the center of the ring.
Number 2 brought out the heavy artillery.
For the second year in a row, they fought the fight of the year.
Get the battle plans and strategies for what's sure to be World War III. Evander Holyfield.
Holyfield showing his warrior's heart.
Riddick Bowe.
Bowe stuns him with an uppercut.
Join us as we go behind enemy lines for the biggest 3 since Frazier Ali. The countdown to Bowe Holyfield 3. Premiere Sunday, October 22nd on HBO.
Hey, these guys want to fight.
The following is a special presentation of HBO Sports.
Every so often, a rivalry comes along that is a throwback to boxing's storied past.
You've seen the best of both men. A right hand by Holyfield. And another. Round 10 continues after the bell. And the left hand for Holyfield. And they swing and swing after the bell. And look at this. Hey, these guys want to fight.
After a 2-year absence, the renewal of boxing's Fall Classic. Bowe Holyfield, the sport's greatest modern-day rivalry.
Hello, I'm Jim Lampley. On the evening of November 4th at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, former undisputed world heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield gets together with former undisputed world heavyweight champion Riddick Bowe. for the third renewal of what has been indisputably the heavyweight boxing rivalry of the 90s. I'll be there at ringside with pleasure to call that fight for you, in company, of course, with HBO boxing analyst Larry Merchant. And Larry, they've already fought two spectacular 12-round battles against each other. What's the meaning of this third Bowe Holyfield fight?
You don't need another meeting, Jim. First and foremost, they're two outstanding fighters who have fought two spectacular, dramatic fights. Why wouldn't you want to see a third one? Second and foremost, or second and foremost, there are the stakes. Riddick Bowe is widely regarded as the best heavyweight out there. He's in his prime. Is he going to do the right thing by himself against a fighter who is past his prime? That's the context of what should be a terrific fight, no matter what the stakes are.
And indeed, history plays into those stakes. When Bowe beat Holyfield in November of 1992, he won the linear heavyweight championship of the world. Holyfield took it back a year later. Holyfield lost it to Michael Moore, and then the other gentleman who called the fight with us took it from Moore in November of 1994, and that's heavyweight champ George Foreman. George, the public often sees in the heavyweight division good fighters protecting themselves by going into the ring against lesser opposition. These two men, I suppose, deserve extra credit for choosing to fight each other a third time.
Yeah, it is rare that you'll find two boxers, especially in one division, who doesn't want to be satisfied with just being called champion, but I fought the best out there. You got a rare bird, two rare birds in Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe. I don't understand where they get the energy, but they're going to prove a point with me. The winner of this fight is definitely the best fighter out there.
Should be great excitement. On the night when he first beat Holyfield, November of 1992, Riddick Bowe won all three existing World Heavyweight Championship belts. Now he has a fourth belt, the least regarded of the heavyweight titles that are presently on the market, and he's looking for something bigger and better to reestablish himself in the sport. So where does Riddick Bowe go in Fight 3 with Evander Holyfield? November 13, 1992. On that one night, Riddick Bowe achieved greatness and lived his dream. Combining refined skill with discipline and focus, he made his potential appear unlimited.
Bowe stuns him with an uppercut, and just like that, the champion struggles to stay on his feet. Holyfield in serious trouble now.
I hit him with some tremendous shots, and this guy would just come right back. And when I got him down, I guess they finally, for me, made me realize that I was the better man.
New heavyweight champion of the world, Riddick Bowe!
Bowe embraced the trappings of the heavyweight championship. Long hours in the gym giving way to coast-to-coast exposure and a world tour that included stops in Africa and at the Vatican. In his first two defenses, he was overwhelming against third-rate opponents.
And down goes Stokes into the ropes.
I'm a bad man.
A spectacular performance by Riddick Bowe.
As Bowe plowed through easy setup fights, questions arose about his commitment. The strategy backfired when an overconfident, out-of-shape Bowe became himself the biggest setup in the rematch with ex-champion Holyfield.
Holyfield gunning for a stoppage here. It would shock the world.
I didn't train as long. I guess my head got a little too big. I didn't think that he could muster the same type of determination. I didn't think that Evander would be the same, but he fooled me.
Losing his championship sent Bowe into a listless freefall. Personally, he was devastated.
When I did lose to Evander, I had a terrible Christmas. I don't want to feel like that no more, especially that Christmas, you know. I want to be happy, not only for myself, but, you know, for my kids and whatnot. And I think as quiet as it kept, they kind of felt, you know, that Daddy wasn't, you know, all that happy. So I want to be happy from now on.
For a while, the millionaire Bowe seemed happiest away from the ring. Proud father of 5 showed passion in building his new family. But that, along with lackluster performances against unthreatening opponents, ignited more questions about his lost commitment. The focus and fire seemed faded.
He weighed in at an even 247 pounds.
Where did all of Bowe's skill and polish and ring intelligence go, Gil?
Maybe one with that good living.
A rusty, rough-hewn effort, but Riddick Bowe gets his KO.
When I was in the gym, I didn't pay as much attention to the people who were telling me, you know, what to do, like I should have. And perhaps that was the difference. So why was I going to be in the gym and kill myself in the gym and knowing that I'm fighting nobody?
This past summer showdown with former amateur nemesis Jorge Gonzalez proved to be the somebody and the wake-up call Bowe needed.
Another terrific right-hand shot for Riddick Bowe, and I got to tell you, Larry, I wasn't sure we'd ever see him look this good again.
He probably was at his very best when he fought Gonzalez.
When the masses think that he might not be able to do it, it challenges him to rise to his best. Whoever the critics are, I hope they continue with their criticism. It only makes Riddick Bowe better.
Now Bowe seems more driven and dedicated than at any time since he grabbed the belts from Holyfield. The question remains, will he seize this opportunity and continue to assert himself?
I have to redeem myself. Evander Holyfield presents me with an opportunity to show the world that Riddick Bowe is the best heavyweight out there. And if I can beat Evander Holyfield in the third fight, then I'm at peace with myself.
There's a tremendous amount at stake here for Riddick Bowe, and in one victory, he can put a lid on all the criticism, redeem himself for having lost to Holyfield, and establish himself as the greatest heavyweight in the world.
Holyfield was the fighter that brought the very best out of Riddick Bowe. It was the fight that made him champion of the world. It was also the fighter that took the championship away from him. It's burning inside of him. He's got to redeem himself.
And the most important thing for me about this fight is that I want to come out victorious. I want to show the people that Riddick Bowe can once capture what he had way back when, a couple of years ago.
For 2 years now, the former heavyweight champion has been haunted by his razor-thin loss to Holyfield, his only loss. He's proven he can be the best, and he's seen how easy it was for him to fall back from that peak. So is he really back? The answer comes November 4. There's no beating Evander Holyfield unless Bowe is once again at his best.
George Foreman, when Bowe beat Holyfield in their first fight in November of '92, a lot of us thought that he had risen to a very high level, both technically and as a puncher. But since then, he's looked bad a couple times. You've always seen some weaknesses in his game. Is there plenty still there for Evander Holyfield to exploit and take advantage of in the ring?
Well, all of the above. Riddick Bowe is as good as he ever was, and as a matter of fact, he's getting a little better. But Evander Holyfield is a thinking man boxer. There's a lot he can exploit because he not only fights with his physical strength, but he has his mind. He thinks boxing. But at the same time, Riddick Bowe is better ever, now than ever.
All right. Well, certainly Evander showed in their second meeting at Caesar's Palace in November of '93 that he had learned some lessons from the loss in the first fight. And then later he underwent a dramatic personal experience, being diagnosed with a heart condition, Larry, retiring from boxing, getting another diagnosis, coming back to the sport. A lot of people would ask, why is Evander Holyfield still fighting?
Because he's a fighter. It's as simple as that. He's a warrior. It's what he does. He loves the stage. He loves the competition. And the money isn't bad either. Evander Holyfield has the kind of ability in terms of his willingness to compete that is extremely rare any place, in or out of sport. He loves to compete, to find out what he has, and he has to play it out until the very end. He himself has said about this fight that he thinks it's going to end with a knockout. On paper, it doesn't particularly figure that way, but it says something about the effort he's willing to put into this one once again.
You used the word warrior, and certainly it has never applied to any fighter more graphically than it applies to Evander Holyfield. Here now again, another fabulous stage for him to show off his spectacular inner will.
In 11 years as a professional, Evander Holyfield has developed an image as the ultimate modern-day warrior. He defines himself with sheer guts and will to win. He's a master of making more of himself than anyone else gives him credit for. Evander Holyfield is a man about whom you say he has the heart of a lion.
When they say heart of lion, they talk about determination. They talk about the will to win, discipline, crafty, a man that fear nothing. And that's what you look at when you see a lion, the king of the jungle. When you say, this man here is the king of the ring.
Holyfield became the king of the ring in 1990, knocking out Buster Douglas. He lost the title to Riddick Bowe, then won it back. Then in a 1994 defense against Michael Moorer, the unthinkable happened.
It was clear, first of all, that something was wrong in the fight because Holyfield hardly threw any punches. And after the fight, sure enough, he complained that he had severe shoulder pain. He immediately was rushed to the hospital, and they gave him medication for the shoulder pain and fluids for severe dehydration.
That's when I was diagnosed of a bad heart, and that's when they talked me into retiring.
What we see with his heart, though, is the elasticity is not quite normal. That it doesn't expand as easily as we would expect the heart to do.
If I continue to box, this could be bad on my health. And I think the most important thing in life is life.
So the man whose heart had defined his career was forced by his heart to retire. But he wasn't finished.
A few weeks later, I went to a crusade. Been a hand crusade, a lot of people come for healing, and I got a confirmation of that I was healed. And I claimed the healing.
Holyfield sought new examinations, which showed his condition had improved. Miraculous recovery, or had Holyfield been misdiagnosed?
The Nevada Commission said, okay, if you really think you're healed, we want you to be cleared medically by one of 3 independent hospitals. Evander chose the Mayo Clinic, and he went up there, and he was cleared. I don't think anybody in the medical or boxing community expected that was going to happen.
Although the Mayo Clinic cleared him, doctors offered this caution. It is advisable that the patient minimize dehydration whenever possible. Evander was given the green light, but the true test would come in the ring.
There's a right by Holyfield.
Will he take enough advantage? There was a good left hook.
And a left as well, and Holyfield rubs it away, and Mercer goes down.
When he fought Ray Mercer, I think that answered everybody's questions. He took one of the toughest heavyweights out there who was virtually impossible to knock out. So that proves he had to be in the right kind of shape. And I think it answered all questions. I don't think his heart was that big of a problem. I think I kind of agree with the misdiagnosis.
I think people do care about me more than a boxer. They care about me as a person. They would like for me to get out of this game and still have my faculties and still be loving and still being in good health. But what would make a person in their right mind think that I would just do something to injure myself?
With renewed confidence in his health, Holyfield continues on a mission many of us struggle to understand. After all, he's been heavyweight champion and earned more than $100 million.
But it's not where you're at, it's where you're going. I'm still pressing on towards the mark where I want to be. I mean, think about how bad do you really want it? And are you willing to pay the price that's necessary to get back to that point and above that point? And once you make that decision, then you go out and give your all again.
Many question what Holyfield has left. If history repeats, he'll need to push himself to the limit when he fights Bowe a 3rd time.
Look at Holyfield. What a warrior. Reversing the tide of the battle. The champion now has Bowe wobbling.
Now I think when you look at Riddick and myself, it's 1-1. I truly feel that Riddick Bowe is the best opponent out there. I need to fight the best people because the best people bring the best out of me. When I get into this fight, the whole world would see the 2 best fighters out there, and the best will take it to another level.
Evander Holyfield still believes he has what it takes to regain the heavyweight championship. He dreams of being the only man besides Ali to hold the title 3 times. Outside the ring, questions about his heart won't stop. But once the fight begins, they will subside. No one has ever questioned his heart in the ring. It's what got him there to begin with.
Larry, as we saw in both of the first 2 fights, there's no mystery to what Evander Holyfield does in the ring. He works, and then he works some more. But what could he do different to throw off Riddick Bowe?
Well, in the first fight, he defied the recommendations of his handlers by going in and fighting a toe-to-toe war with a much bigger man. They wanted him to move in and out and side to side the way he fought other big fighters, George Foreman and Buster Douglas before that. In the second fight, he fought the fight he was supposed to fight in the first fight, and he won. So that we have to assume he's going to try to refine what he did in the second fight and see if he can win a tactical as well as a fierce battle.
Tactical questions are bound to emerge when two guys have already fought 24 rounds against each other and get ready to do it again. Then there are other questions beyond the tactical, the psychological. George, how is it different fighting a guy 3 times as opposed to once?
It's real spooky, boxing is. You start thinking, what, he knows something I don't know? Was it truly luck that I got past this? This gets kind of scary. And in reality, on the other end, you want to think to yourself, I'm going to make him say he'd never want to fight me again. So it works both ways. Spooky and kind of have a little pride to it also.
Of course, one of the oldest truisms in the sport is that you can't become a great boxer without having gone against great opponents. Great rivalries give us the memories that echoed down through the decades in this sport. There have only been a few like Bowe Holyfield.
The way it works is fighters have tremendous egos, and fighters have tremendous levels of confidence.
I've been hit a few times, but not as hard as Bowe hit me the first fight.
And when fighter A beats fighter B, the second time around, fighter A might be a little overconfident. Fighter B is smart enough to make the adjustments and has more motivation. So fighter B, in the second fight, comes back and wins.
And the left hand for Holyfield. And they swing and swing after the bell. And look at this. Hey, these guys want to fight.
Anytime you heard Evander, he was coming right back at you. And it seemed like for me, for some reason, when you heard him, he got stronger. So I got to the point where I was really trying not to hit him too hard to make him angry.
And then very often it takes the third fight to determine, all things being equal, who the better fighter is.
Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe for the third time. A modern-day rivalry renewed out of respect and admiration for one another. A trilogy that harkens back to some of boxing's classic rubber match fights. In a span of 4 months, from 1942 to 43, Sugar Ray Robinson and Jake LaMotta fought 3 times, all of them 10-round decisions. Robinson won the first, LaMotta the second. Sugar Ray's first defeat after 40 wins. 21 days later, Robinson won the rubber match.
No matter how many times we fought the same way. I chased him, I came in forward, and he ran backwards and stopped and spots and with barrages and then ran some more. And that's the way it was all the time.
The ultimate blood and guts trilogy of the 40s matched middleweights Tony Zale and Rocky Graziano. In the first fight, Zale, behind on points, KO'd Graziano in the 6th. Graziano produced an exact reversal in the second meeting, knocking Zale out in the 6th. Tony Zale would win the rubber match.
And it's really not a great fight. It's one-sided, and it's Zale for the first round, Zale for the second round, and Zale in the third round. And he takes out Graziano with a hook to the body and a left to the head. And you can still see Graziano dissembling as he goes down.
In 1948, Willie Pep, coming back from a near-fatal plane crash, was knocked out by Sandy Sadler in 4 rounds, losing his featherweight title. 4 months later, Pep won a masterful 15-round decision to set up the rubber match at Yankee Stadium in 1950.
Then the third and fourth time, he just overcame me. He was just too strong for me. And I was fading away slow but sure, you know, and that was it.
The fight of the century was a battle of undefeated champions. Pugilistic theater heightened when Frazier dropped Ali in the 15th round. That punch won him the fight. In their return bout, a non-title contest, Ali dominated from start to finish, almost stopping Frazier in the second round before the referee inadvertently halted the action. A prelude to the rubber match called the Thriller in Manila.
To me, given stakes, given what that fight would mean to both fighters' histories and the history of the division, and given what happened in the ring, with the ebb and flow, with Ali on the verge of collapse, coming back to win, and of course the tremendous drama of the conclusion, Frazier not being allowed to come out of his corner for the 15th round, it had every single element that you could have to make it a great fight. And I think it was the greatest fight in boxing history.
I think in each of those epic battles, each guy wanted to be the best. He wanted to prove that he can take a shot, give a shot, and when the smoke cleared, he could win. And I think I could pretty much kind of feel that with Evander Holyfield.
This fight here will be a combination of a lot of things because we know each other very well because we have worked with each other in sparring and we have fought twice. And now in the third fight, you know, we have to be able to create something new that we may not expect from each other. So this fight would be very electrifying and somebody would get knocked out in this fight.
It is what boxing used to be about, the best fighting the best. Maybe it's the last glimmer for a while of what this sport's supposed to be because nothing seems to work in this sport.
Holyfield Bowe is a throwback to the old days, and it's rare. It's rare in the heavyweight division.
A right hand by Holyfield, and another. Round 10 continues after the bell.
When it's over, this rubber match, too, will be a part of boxing history.
If a picture is worth 1,000 words, we're about to give you 100,000 of them. A unique way now of looking back, remembering, and feeling the inner memories of those first two great Bowe Holyfield fights. Can Evander Holyfield beat a heavyweight who is both younger and bigger than himself? That is what we're here to find out.
But sooner or later, a fight is going to break out here. It might be sooner.
Holyfield wobbles Bowe under the ropes. Left hook landed by Bowe after a right. Holyfield seemingly in trouble for the moment. Bowe throwing and throwing, now goes to the body. Holyfield somehow standing up, and Holyfield weathers the storm and comes back throwing.
That jab is working good. He can't get off. This guy's dying out there, baby.
Use that jab and keep your left hand high.
And he lands the right hand. Everybody in the Thomas and Mack Center on their feet. It could be all over for Evander Holyfield's heavyweight championship reign. He is not fighting. On the back of the arena now, they begin to rise and applaud what has been an extraordinary battle between two men of heart and will and courage and skill.
The only sequels I could think of that live up to the originals were Ali Fraser 3 and Godfather 2. But everybody is here hoping this fight can live up to the original. It's asking an awful lot.
And they swing and swing after the bell. And there is blood above Bowe's left eye. And somebody in a parachute has just landed on the edge of the ring. The fight has been brought to a halt, a monstrosity of an interruption in the bout. And knocking Bowe's mouthpiece out with a left hook. Holyfield unprotected. He's hurt. You're right, George. Riddick's got a huge chance here, and he's going at it with everything he's got. Crowd rises to its feet. For the second year in a row, they fought the fight of the year. Well, they call him the real deal. Tonight, he was all of that.
Well, George Foreman, to completely oversimplify what happened in the first two fights, some might argue that Bowe outpunched Holyfield the first time around and Holyfield outboxed Bowe the second time around. What do you expect to see in their third battle?
I think they're going to settle this thing once and for all. And the way you do that, someone is going to have to get knocked out. And I think we're going to see it this time.
So you think you'll see them toe-to-toe?
Toe-to-toe, and each looking for not just a victory on points, but a knockout.
Well, that's what Holyfield says is going to happen. I'm not so sure. I kind of think we might see another 12-round battle. Larry Merchant, what are you looking forward to?
Well, first, Jim, I regard the first round of this new fight as the 25th round of just one long, great fight. What I'm looking forward to is, can they do another 10th round? Everyone remembers the 10th round of their first fight. It's one of the defining moments of recent boxing history, in which Evander Holyfield proved in defeat that he was a great warrior and a great fighter. And Riddick Bowe showed us the stuff that he was made of. If they give us that kind of intensity, that kind of prize fighting, nothing else matters.
It's one of the glorious ironies of boxing that you can sometimes say that a man looks bigger in defeat than he ever did in victory. Certainly a lot of people would have said that about Holyfield after Bowe Holyfield won. Some would have said that about Riddick Bowe after their second battle. Can they both be heroic again on the evening of November 4? We certainly hope that many of you will choose to make the buy and tune in to see us pay-per-view that evening as we bring you live from ringside at Caesar's Palace, Evander Holyfield against Riddick Bowe for the third time.
This has been a presentation of HBO Sports, the network of champions.
It's a press conference, Mike. Contrast of the day provided by Evander Holyfield, who worked out on all comers, including a group of scouts. He spoke to them as well, let some of them into the ring. Holyfield and Bowe, that's the gimbals to the Tyson's-Macy's bout with Mathis on Saturday.
On November 4th,
Bowe throwing and throwing, now goes to the body.
there are two heavyweight fights.
A right hand by Holyfield, and another.
Each is worth
Round 10 continues after the bell.
exactly what you pay for it. The main event, November 4th, is the fight of the year. Bowe Holyfield 3.
You've seen the best of both men.
Bowe Holyfield 3, live November 4th, only on pay-per-view.
A trade, but a choice. Tyson Mathis or Bowe Holyfield. And 4 nights before their duels in the desert, the photo op's flying today. Charlie Steiner is there. Charlie?
Riddick Bowe got off to an early start on Tuesday morning, running at the crack of dawn, and by afternoon he was back in the ring training at the sports pavilion here at Caesar's Palace. Evander Holyfield worked out in the ring in the morning, but his sparring is now done for Saturday night's fight against Bowe. With Al Bernstein, and Al, there's never been any question about Riddick Bowe's raw natural talent. There's always been a question, however, about how he gets ready for a fight.
He is so scrutinized before every fight. The prevailing theory, of course, is he lost to Evander Holyfield the last time because he wasn't in great condition. Everyone I've talked to and the times I've observed him, it would appear that Riddick Bowe, training over at the Desert Inn in a relatively calm atmosphere, has gotten himself into absolutely peak condition for this fight, Charlie.
The beneficiaries of the Tyson cancellation, the other guys scheduled to fight that night, Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe. Bowe, who always says he's already seen everything in this game, was one of several members of the pugilistic cognoscenti who did not seem fazed by this news.
You know, some things happen. I mean, it's happening, you have no control over them, but it's unfortunate, and I wish him luck in the future. But I guess that just goes to show you that November 4th was meant to be for Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield.
I don't think I was up against him. You know, I'm still against Riddick Bowe. It's just a fight between us.
I'm not at all going to question whether it was a legitimate injury. Now, the facts are that the folks over at the MGM, I don't think, had sold yet 1,500 seats. And I think that that's one of the reasons that people were cynical. But I'm not going to question Mike Tyson's integrity at all.
I thought I could sneak it through. I know I wasn't thinking professionally. It's not my job to think as a doctor. My objective was to basically fight. But the pain became too intense, and it continued hurting during sparring sessions.
The other fight, or we should say the fight in Vegas, doesn't come off, Bowe and Holyfield, that is, they can blame it on the rain. 70% chance of the wet stuff. Riddick and his manager not shocked or disappointed to be the only show in town.
You know, some things happen. I mean, it's happening, you have no control over them, but it's unfortunate, and I wish him luck in the future. But I guess that just goes to show you that November 4th was meant to be for Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield.
I'm not at all going to question whether it was a legitimate injury. Now, the facts are that the folks over at the MGM, I don't think, had sold yet 1,500 seats. And I think that that's one of the reasons that people were cynical. But I'm not going to question Mike Tyson's integrity at all.
One fight gone, the weather threatens another. Perhaps nature's special message to boxing.
Well, the one fight left on Saturday is the one on pay-per-view, the rubber match between Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield.
That I don't think I was up against him. You know, I'm still against still against Riddick Bowe. It's just a fight between us. You know, I never considered, you know, as people have a choice to see either one. Now they have one choice, and that's us.
It's unfortunate, and I wish him luck in the future. But I guess that just goes to show you that November 4th was meant to be for Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield.
Well, if Tyson and Mathis never fight, it would be Tyson's second ever cancellation. If they do fight, it would be his fourth postponement. Wonder if there's a line on that yet in Vegas.
On the morning after the night before, both the MGM Grand and Fox Television, they were licking their wounds, both in terms of dollars and cents and PR points as a result of the cancellation of the Tyson-Mathis fight. Here at Caesars Palace, which will be housing the Holyfield-Bowe third fight in their trilogy, there was as much talk at the pre-fight press conference about last night's cancellation as there was about this Saturday night's fight.
If the man says his hand is hurt, I'll have to believe that his hand is hurt because I think he could be Buster Mathis with one hand.
I truly feel that if Tyson would have fought, I think the people would have bought the pay-per-view. I don't think it would affect us no way other way to fight. I truly believe if it would have been a pay-per-view fight, then it probably would have.
Rock, this Chiquita Banana Ensemble this morning, what is the significance of this?
We see all things. We know all things. We watch, we see, we know ESPN.
Care to embellish?
For quite some time, I've been attempting to say to people and privately and publicly with you, old master, that there would be one fight on November the 4th, Bowe Holyfield 3. Thus we are here.
From a business point of view, what does this all mean now?
More money, more money, more money.
Well, there will surely be a surge and a swell in the number of pay-per-view buys that we get for Bowe Holyfield 3. Having been in the business myself for 18 years, and my company has been in the business now for 24 years of boxing, unfortunately, injuries are a part of the sport. We lost 4 Tyson fights. We've been here before with Tyson where we lost 4 fights due to Tyson injuries, so we take no comfort in the fact that Mike got hurt.
So boxing's golden cow with the broken thumb has put a halt to a lot of different fighters' plans. How's this thing going to shake out?
Well, I'll tell you, one thing that I know is, personally, it's got to have some impact on Mike Tyson, because not only was he faced with the prospect of fighting before maybe 2,000 or 2,500 people max at the MGM, which has to have him thinking about his draw and his allure, it also has to have him thinking about his invincibility. He's only fought 1 round, basically, or less than that, since he's been out of prison. And now this injury means he's going to have to take weeks and weeks to retool, and boxing fans will be waiting for a while to see Mike Tyson even in 1 more round of boxing.
So Tyson's doctors say it's going to be at least 4 to 6 weeks before he can get back into the ring. So the timetable is we'll not see Mike Tyson back in the ring until early 1996. For Al Bernstein, Charlie Steiner, ESPN at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas.
Holyfield is a one-man crew of heart and redemption. Ahead, tonight's cover story with a one-time, 2-time heavyweight champion of the world describes his best tool.
I just feel that every guy that I fight, ain't nowhere in the world he cannot thank me.
Holyfield starring in what is now Saturday's only main event. That is ahead in this evening's SportsCenter cover story.
4 hours since the Mike Tyson-Buster Mathis Jr. fight promotion went thumbs down and belly up. This war of boxing promotions has left the MGM Grand and Fox Television out in the cold and out of the money, while executives of Caesars Palace, which will stage, and TVKO, which will televise the Bowe Holyfield fight, were gloating that their competition had been eliminated. There were millions of reasons: increased pay-per-view dollars and an expected bump in live ticket sales.
On the same night as a free show, I would have been delighted with 600,000 buys. I thought that would have been a home run. Now I think we're greedy, and now we want to go for a grand slam home run. I think we can get very close to 800,000 and even more.
I think there's a decent chance that we could sell out, which would be like 15,000 seats. Our original projection was maybe somewhere in that 11 to maybe 12.5 number. It could go all the way now. There were obviously people who had bought tickets to the Tyson fight who are going to be in town, who are going to want to have an event to go to.
We were going to do exceedingly well in pay-per-view. I think that we still are going to do exceedingly well pay-per-view. We're going to do dramatically better at the live gate. I think we would have had about 11,000 tickets sold at the live gate. Now I think it will come close to doing a sellout.
Meanwhile, Tyson's broken thumb has cost the MGM not a grand, but conceivably millions.
Untold for the gambling and the hotel rooms at the MGM, it's in the tens of millions.
Tens of millions.
Yes. Yeah. There's a fights bring in the big gamblers, and I would assume that the big gamblers will not be at the MGM this weekend.
I think that probably in the casino we will have less business than we would have had we had the fight. But I think that the numbers that you just mentioned are totally ridiculous compared to reality. I mean, they have just no relationship to reality whatsoever.
The Nevada State Athletic Commission is estimating a loss of $250,000 in tax revenues by the cancellation of the Tyson-Mathis fight. And Al Bernstein, who is a Las Vegas resident, what does it mean to this town?
Well, I'll tell you, in addition to the actual dollars that will not be generated because you're losing a fight, the interesting thing about this city is everybody was anticipating just how it would be handled. How would the city be able to deal with these two mega events at the same time? Because it's never happened before. So actually what it's left is kind of a deflated feeling on the part of a lot of the residents here. There's no question that the overall community was a loser in this to a point.
As what few fans who had bought tickets to the Tyson-Mathis fight were returning them, Evander Holyfield, who himself had a fight with Tyson canceled, felt badly for Buster Mathis Jr.
I was a champion, and I just move on to another fight. I just don't get paid as much. But here's a man that you know, probably was his biggest payday in his history going down the drain. They said 6 weeks. Then again, Tyson might change his mind, not even fighting.
It's a catastrophe in every respect from our standpoint, and everyone else involved. There are undercard fighters, and you know, the hotel, the Fox television network.
We have a 6-fight deal with Mike. We are very happy with the deal. The fact that this second fight got postponed, it's not a cancellation, it's merely a postponement, means that we still have 5 fights left. And it's really a question of choosing the right dates that fit with everybody, ourselves, the broadcaster, and Mike's health, which is the most important.
So now with Mike Tyson at least on the shelf for the next 4 to 6 weeks, what does that mean for the rest of the heavyweight division now?
Well, there are some heavyweights out there very disappointed about this, principally Frank Bruno, who he was supposed to fight in March. I think it is very unlikely, after an injury especially, they will bring Tyson back and put him in against Bruno right away. So he's going to have to fight a Buster Mathis type, possibly, in fact, Buster Mathis himself, before he gets to Frank Bruno. And look how that pushes the timetable back. If he doesn't fight Bruno till later than March, that means they're going to want him to fight Bruce Seldon to get another title, and that means that seeing Mike Tyson in against, let's say, a Bowe Holyfield winner or somebody like that is quite a bit down the road.
Years down the road. You still have to get past the competing television networks and the competing hotels, and there has been some damage done in the relationship between the hotels and the television networks because of this entire experience here in Las Vegas. For Al Bernstein, Charlie Steiner, ESPN at Caesars Palace.
Round ball to the squared circle where Evander Holyfield has made a nice living and a legendary image with his heart. Will that be enough Saturday night? Our cover story is next. We're going back to the Strip.
Riddick, Big Daddy, Evander, let's get ready to rumble!
The fists will fly at Caesars Palace when these two warriors clash a third and deciding time. Don't miss Bowe Holyfield 3, live on pay-per-view. Call now to order. Brought to you by Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers.
Welcome back to Caesars Palace here in Las Vegas. I'm Charlie Steiner with our continuing coverage of Bowe Holyfield 3. Evander Holyfield is 33 years old now. He says he wants to retire by the end of 1996. So realistically speaking, just looking at the calendar, he has no more luxury to lose. One loss essentially means the end of his career. After all, what room does he have to come back? Holyfield has had a spectacular career. In a land of giants, he's been a little man, a little big man. And that's our cover story tonight.
gentleman all this time. He can't understand someone being so dirty.
So you see Holyfield going down in this round, and Bowe stuns him with an uppercut. And just like that, the champion struggles to stay on his feet. What a heart by Holyfield. The champion now has Bowe wobbling. Look at Holyfield. What a warrior.
I would say he epitomizes that word best because he wants to come back at you. You just can't give him enough. He's going to keep coming at you, coming at you, coming at you.
Most guys, when you hurt them, you break their will, and they no longer want to fight. The fight is gone. But Evander, it seems like to me, when you hurt Evander, that somewhat motivates him, and that's a bona fide warrior.
The heart, the warrior, the courage, where does it come from? Give me some sense of when you were a kid and as to how you got from there to here with that.
Well, you know, as a sense of a kid, I'm the youngest of 8, so, always feeling at a disadvantage. When I was in 10th grade, I weighed 110. Even as a kid, I didn't think about, well, I'm the youngest, I'm the smallest, that's the reason why I have to work so hard. I just realized that I had to work harder to get attention, to get the things that I want.
It is now 2 weeks past his 33rd birthday as Evander Holyfield prepares for his 34th professional fight. As the work grows harder, the thrill is diminishing.
Plenty legs, Holy, plenty legs.
It's not as much fun as it was when trying to get the first title, even training to get the second title. I look at it, it's a job, it's something that I enjoy doing.
After 11 tough years in a very rough business, the inevitable questions are now beginning to surface. Is Evander Holyfield over the hill? Emmanuel Stewart is his former trainer, who left him in a contract dispute.
I feel that Evander Holyfield has peaked as a fighter. He's had a lot of fights, and most of his fights have been very brutal physical fights. And I think throughout the years, from the amateur days and the professional, I think that they have taken their toll on him. And I think his best days are behind him.
I think he's peaked, right? He's peaked. And he's going over like this over the edge.
Dwight Muhammad Qawi fought 2 epic wars with Holyfield 9 years ago, when Holyfield was a cruiserweight and Qawi was as old as Holyfield is now.
When he fought me, he gave me a great fight. He got a lot of heart. But he's basically, and mostly, he's just a machine. But it's like a car, you know what I mean? You got to service it, it breaks down. No matter how much you service it, right? It gets miles on it. It gets wear and tear.
My whole thing, I would never deny and say I haven't peaked. But where I'm at, can I win with what I got? I just feel that every guy that I fight, ain't nowhere in the world he cannot thank me. You know, when I fight Bowe, I say, you cannot thank me. And I'm going to find out what I can do better than, that's what I'm going to do to win.
Holyfield used to be consumed with joining Muhammad Ali as the only 3-time heavyweight champion. But not anymore, because Holyfield, like most fight fans, isn't sure who is the real champion and which is the real belt. So now Holyfield, already a wealthy man, fights mostly for the money. $9 million for a 3rd fight with Riddick Bowe.
When I fight, I want to get paid good. So they said, well, you need to fight a good opponent. He's a man that nobody won't fight. You know, don't nobody want to fight. It was a situation, if I could make the same amount of money I'm fighting Bowe to fight somebody else, I would. But no one want to pay me that kind of money. So only person I can look across and fight is Bowe. Well, you should fight Bowe, you can get that. Okay, bring him on. Bring him on. Life is short.
And Holyfield's boxing life is nearing an end. He knows it, but he also says it's not over yet.
I can't reach back, get what I had yesterday. I can only work with what I have today. And the point is, what I have today is good enough for me to be the champ of the world.
Donald Herbie Hyde and Jorge Luis Gonzalez. Not exactly your pay-per-view blockbuster names. Those are the 3 pugs Riddick Bowe has dispatched since losing his title to Evander Holyfield 2 years ago this week. Of course, Holyfield gave up that title to the since-retired Michael Moorer in the interim. It isn't a championship fight, but they are heavyweights, and to prove it, they will step on the scales shortly. Charlie Steiner has been camped in Las Vegas all week.
Jack, welcome to Caesars Palace here in Las Vegas, where in just a matter of moments we'll have the weigh-in for Bowe Holyfield 3. There's always a degree of anxiety and anticipation on the part of the fighters. The weights are essentially their final grades to determine exactly how hard they worked and prepared for the moment on Saturday night. In the first two fights, Riddick Bowe enjoyed a 30-pound weight advantage both times. Let's go downstairs now to Al Bernstein for his insights. Al?
Well, thank you, Charlie. One thing we feel certain about in this fight, Riddick Bowe is looking to come in at least a few pounds lighter than that weight against Evander Holyfield. And I think Holyfield may even come a little bit less than the 217 he weighed in the last time he fought Bowe. He was 209 when he fought Ray Mercer the last time out, and that would be a good weight for him because he needs a lot of lateral movement against Riddick Bowe. Let's go back to Charlie.
All right, Al, we'll find out in just a matter of moments what both fighters will weigh for Saturday night. Let's now go back to SportsCenter and Jack Edwards. Jack?
All right, Charlie, the scale is quaking in anticipation. We'll go back live to Vegas in a few minutes. Kenny?
Bowe, he is primed for Saturday night. And ahead in tonight's cover story, the man who would be champion again, the man who is molding his ring strategy, will criticize the former champ, the weaknesses in Riddick's game and what some say went wrong after he won the heavyweight championship. 90 seconds from now, you'll see a couple of large guys in their shorts. The weigh-in, it's on the way.
SportsCenter is brought to you by McDonald's. Have you had your break today?
Overcast skies here in the Nevada desert, and there is rain in the forecast for Saturday night's Bowe Holyfield 3, but no rain inside here at the Sports Pavilion, where the weigh-in for Bowe Holyfield 3 is about to take place. Let's go downstairs now to Al Bernstein. Al?
Well, thank you, Charlie. We welcome not only those watching across America on ESPN, but also the people here at the Pavilion in Caesars Palace. And we are set to go, indeed, for the weigh-in of Bowe Holyfield number 3. We will kick things off with the former champion of the world. He comes in here with a record of 31-2. Please welcome Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield weighs in at 213 pounds. And now the WBO World Heavyweight Champion with a record of 37-1. Please welcome Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe weighs in at 240 pounds.
Ladies, he's been in 4 years.
And now let's go back up to Charlie Steiner.
All right, Al, so somewhat of a surprise in the tail of the tape as Riddick Bowe comes in at 240 pounds, which is 6 pounds lighter than what he weighed 2 years ago against Evander Holyfield. Holyfield weighed 217 in the second fight, so he's 4 pounds lighter as Holyfield. Bowe is 6 pounds lighter, but the key in all of this will be the reach. If Riddick Bowe can keep Evander Holyfield on the outside with that 4-inch reach advantage, that may well portend good things for Riddick Bowe. As for Evander Holyfield, let's go back downstairs now and Al Bernstein. Al?
We're here with Evander Holyfield. Your weight at 213, Evander, less than the 217 you fought the last time against him. Is part of that because of the fact you want the movement you had the second time?
Well, you know, I figured I'd come in whatever weight that I come in at. I had a great training camp. It's not how big the fight. It's not how big you are. It's the fight that's in you.
You've surprised people. That's true. You've surprised people with suggesting you're going to win by knockout. What's that? What's the motivation for that?
Well, yeah, it's just the point of me of fighting the best fight possible. I had 2 fights with him previous. The first fight, I tried to knock him out, and I was unsuccessful, and he wanted to fight. My second fight, my whole goal was to outbox him, and I did that, and I won the victory. So here's the third fight. The third fight, I got to have a combination of both. So I got to be able to punch, and I got to be able to box, and I feel that to top the first 2, then I have to take him out.
All right, good luck to you. All right, good luck to Evander Holyfield. And now we bring in Riddick Bowe. Well, let's bring him right in here. Riddick, you You came in at a weight that was a little lighter, perhaps, than you had been in some other fights. Did that make you happy?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, that just goes to show you how hard I trained for this fight. I haven't been this light since the first fight with Evander Holyfield, and I'm really determined.
Were you surprised at the press conference? Rock showed a little surprise that Evander Holyfield was talking about knocking you out. You were surprised as well, weren't you?
I'm still surprised. I'm talking about he's going to take me out. That's not going to happen. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he thinks he's fighting Burt Cooper or somebody else. Maybe he got amnesia, but he seemed to forget that. We don't win 24 rounds, and he was at his best, and that's not going to happen. I mean, it's crazy.
Could you knock him out?
There's a great possibility. I'm not going in and trying to knock him out. I'm trying to be the one decision, but if I get him hurt and the opportunity presents itself, yes, I'm going to try to take full advantage of it.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that was indeed Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield. They seem ready. Let's go back to Charlie Steiner.
Of course, Mike Tyson will not be fighting on Saturday night because of the broken thumb. Within the past 15 minutes, I've seen x-rays of that broken thumb, and we'll be talking later on in the hour with Dr. Flip Homansky, who runs the medical department of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. For now, Charlie Steiner, along with Al Bernstein, live from Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. Jack?
It is 4 days short of 2 years since Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe fought for the second time. The twists and turns of their respective careers brought them moments ago aboard the scales in Las Vegas, their last stop before they settle that rivalry, presumably once and for all. The fight, 52.5 hours away, but Charlie Steiner has the news of the last few minutes. Chuck?
Bob, at the weigh-in this afternoon, 240 pounds for Riddick Bowe. For Evander Holyfield, he weighed in at 213 as you take a look at the tail of the tape. But there is one story that just will not go away. The broken right thumb of Mike Tyson. We are joined now by a name you hear all the time at the fights, Dr. Flip Homansky, who runs the medical department, the medical advisory board for the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Flip, these are the x-rays of Tyson's thumb. Give me a sense of what you see and when you saw it. One is from October 13th, and the other is just from a couple of days ago.
October 10th, Charlie, and another one was done on Halloween, October 31st. It is of the distal phalanx, just beyond the fingernail, and it's a significant fracture. There's no question that this would have been tender every time he put pressure on it. The fracture is not a hairline, and I'm amazed he was able to go for 2 weeks before deciding that he couldn't fight.
Were you surprised, Dr. Homansky, number one, that they waited, and number two, that they maybe didn't even check this again before Halloween?
Knowing Mike, he wanted this fight to go, and I think he did everything possible so that the doctors would at least give him a chance. On the 10th, there is enough separation that it would have been almost impossible to take a direct blow. The fracture is better on the 31st, but still nowhere near healed.
His doctors say he could be back within 4 to 6 weeks. Based on what you've seen on these x-rays, is that a realistic possibility?
Everybody heals differently. I will be surprised if he's at 100% in 4 weeks.
That's Dr. Flip Homansky with the x-rays of Mike Tyson's broken thumb. Yes, indeed, it is legitimately broken. And the real question is, how could they have let this fight go on, going back as far as perhaps October 10th when they first discovered the break? For Dr. Flip Homansky and Al Bernstein, Charlie Steiner, ESPN, Caesars Palace, Las Vegas. You're looking at the arena where on Saturday night, Bowe and Holyfield will have at it for a third time, and there is a 75% chance of rain here on Saturday night. I'm Charlie Steiner. You know, there has never been any question about Riddick Bowe and his considerable skills. He's got it all. He's got the jab, he's got the uppercut, he's got power in both hands. If there's been a reputation that he's just been unable to shake, it's the question of his diligence and dedication to his profession. That's where Papa Smurf comes in. Eddie Futch, one of the most respected trainers in the sport. It is their relationship that's the focus of tonight's cover story. Sunrise in Las Vegas, 3 weeks before his third fight with Evander Holyfield. And Riddick Bowe is running fast. Too fast.
Chad, I run this morning, man. I went up there, took me a shower. I was out.
More than 8 hours later, Bowe is sluggish in his sparring. His fists are slow. His legs are heavy.
Stick, touch him. If you touch the guy, you let him move the way he wants to move.
Time. You know what? I'm tired. I'm flat. Don't ask me why. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I used to run this morning, but I'm
Yeah. How far did you run this morning?
4.5, but I did it real fast.
Yeah.
I must not respond like I should be,
One more round of sparring, and probably the most respected trainer in boxing. 83-year-old Eddie Futch has seen enough. His prize pupil was not following his lesson plan. On this day, at least, Bowe's discipline is called into question.
See, now, when you take over and do what
No, I'm not. I ain't
I'm This morning, you ran too hard and too quick. See? So that messed up what you did today. See, that takes us off our program. If you follow the program, we bring it in right on top. It's fine-tuning. It's like sharpening a razor. You get that feather edge, and you keep sharpening, you lose the whole thing. And so he ran like a deer this morning. So when he came to the gym, he didn't have all of what he needed. So I cut the sparring short.
He must drive you crazy sometimes, Eddie.
I'm telling you.
I just got out there and just took off real fast. I don't know. I don't know what came over me.
Well, now you see what the result is.
No question, no question.
Yeah, okay. So I understand this young man. He's never had a male model. He never had somebody to really direct him. He needed somebody. And after talking to him 5 minutes, I knew the problem. I see he's 6 feet 5 inches tall, and he weighs 230 pounds, and just doing 21. Everybody thinks he's a man. He's a boy. He's about 16 years old upstairs.
That's always been the rap against Bowe. Eddie Futch has always had to be his counterbalance.
I started with him in 90. I built him up gradually to the specimen that he was over a number of years. But after he won the title, he should have been fighting maybe once every 2 or 3 months to let the skills that he had acquired become a part of him. He reached that point, and then before these skills could become a part of him, he was taken away, taken out of the gym, and he made a tour to Somalia and South Africa and whatnot.
After becoming champion, Bowe began enjoying the fruits of his labor too much, including a 13-day world tour. His focus came into question once again.
Folks have attempted to magnify that less than 2-week trip into something that made Riddick Bowe lose focus on his entire career. And that myth has been continually perpetuated, and it's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous.
But that is where Bowe's manager and trainer disagree. Futch was so bothered by the distractions that he almost quit.
By the time he got back, that 4 years or 3 years of work that had built him up into the specimen that he was gone.
He paid for his lack of discipline. He lost his title to Holyfield, followed by 3 lackluster performances. But in June, rededicated and rejuvenated by a personal hatred, Riddick Bowe was magnificent in his destruction of Jorge Luis Gonzalez. And now Bowe is getting ready for Holyfield one more time.
That's right. I've been in training camp for almost 8 weeks when the fight takes place. This here will be my longest training camp ever as a professional. You know, so yes, I'm taking it extremely serious.
He's back now. In fact, he's to the point now where he feels so good about himself that he goes out and he does things on his own once in a while that kind of throws the program off a little bit.
Starting to feel like I fought for the first fight, Pops, man.
Yeah.
You know how you want something so bad. And
Yeah, I know, but you can overdo it.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You can overdo it.
Joined now by Al Bernstein. Al, why can't Riddick Bowe shake that reputation of his?
You know, so many athletes and people in public life have a little phrase that follows their name that they were tagged with early, and sometimes it never goes away. And in Riddick Bowe's case, he may be a victim of having too much talent because he raises our level of expectations with great performances, and then if his conditioning isn't perfect for a fight, that performance may go down a little bit, and so people may tend to be more critical of him. But there's no question that if he wins this fight and does so in convincing fashion, he may go a long way toward erasing that little phrase after his name.
Of course, Al will be joining me for all the post-fight extravaganza. It's become a little industry for us here at ESPN. On Saturday night, join us for the highlights and all the interviews, along with Al Bernstein, and John Saraceno will be with us Saturday night as well. For now, Charlie Steiner, ESPN, Caesars Palace, Las Vegas.
Irony of a heavyweight prize fight weigh-in never ceases to amaze. Two hulking figures capable of massive amounts of destruction, clad only in their skivvies. Whether you appreciate Evander Holyfield's chiseled look or Riddick Bowe's teddy bear softness, both former champions came in at surprising weights for Saturday night's non-title bout. Charlie Steiner was next to the scale and joins us from Caesars Palace.
Nighttime in the Nevada desert, Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, the site of Bowe Holyfield 3, where on Thursday afternoon inside here, the Sports Pavilion, the weigh-in for Saturday night's fight. Evander Holyfield set foot on the scales first.
Evander Holyfield weighs in at 213 pounds.
And then it was Riddick Big Daddy Bowe's turn to get on the scale.
Riddick Bowe weighs in at 240 pounds.
So Riddick Big Daddy Bowe will enjoy a 27-pound weight advantage over Evander Holyfield. It was 29 in their last fight 2 years ago. But most importantly, perhaps, is that almost 4-inch reach advantage. Al Bernstein had a chance to talk to both fighters immediately after the weigh-in, beginning with Riddick Bowe, who was thrilled with his weight of 240.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, that just goes to show you how hard I trained for this fight. I haven't been this light since the first fight with Evander Holyfield, and I'm really determined.
I figured I'd come in whatever weight that I come in at. I had a great training camp. It's not how big the fight is, not how big you are, it's the fight that's in you.
Al Bernstein is joining me now, and what do the weights tell you about Saturday night's fight?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. There is a significant difference in Riddick Bowe. Not just the weight itself, but also the way he looks. And this gives us a graphic example. In much better condition than when he fought Evander Holyfield the last time, and I'm sure that gives him a certain element of confidence. But Evander Holyfield, also at a good weight at 213, Charlie, because it allows him to be maneuverable enough to get in, throw his punches, get out, and move from side to side.
All right, so we will continue our coverage a bit later on in this edition of SportsCenter. For now, for Al Bernstein, I'm Charlie Steiner, ESPN at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. Every so often, a rivalry comes along that's a throwback to the sport's storied past.
You've seen the best of both men. A right hand by Holyfield, and another. Round 10 continues after the bell. And a left hand for Holyfield. And they swing and swing after the bell. And look at this. Hey, these guys want to fight.
After a 2-year absence, the renewal of the Fall Classic, Bowe Holyfield, boxing's greatest modern-day rivalry. In a sport and a division where the best fighters bend over backwards and search for reasons not to fight one another, Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield, arguably the two best heavyweights in the world, will face one another for a third time this Saturday night, November 4th. Hi, I'm Charlie Steiner, and in their first fight, Evander Holyfield was the undefeated, undisputed, underappreciated heavyweight champion of the world. Riddick Bowe was the undefeated, unquestionably talented, but undisciplined challenger. In a fiercely contested, riveting prize fight that featured one of the most compelling rounds, the 10th, in boxing history, Riddick Bowe knocked Holyfield off his feet for the first time in his career and won a unanimous decision. The second fight, probably the most bizarre in the history of an often bizarre sport. Fan man and an unexpected and unwanted 21-minute intrusion in the middle of the 7th round, which Bowe swears cost him the fight and his title. That sets up Bowe Holyfield 3. The countdown. It continues in a moment. Welcome back to Countdown to Bowe Holyfield 3. You know, there's never been any question about Riddick Bowe's natural talent in the ring. Big Daddy's 6'5", he's heavy, 240-something. And at the end of his 81-inch reach is a quick, potent left jab and a powerful right hand. But the questions surrounding Riddick Bowe have centered around his focus, his dedication, and his discipline. Even his revered trainer, Eddie Futch, told me just the other day, you know, there's still a lot of boy in him. Euphemistically, Futch told me, every once in a while he goes out and does things on his own. When focused and in shape, Riddick Bowe has been unbeatable. But after winning the heavyweight championship from Evander Holyfield in their first fight, Bowe went out and did some things on his own. He lost his focus and his title in the second fight with Holyfield. So which Riddick Bowe will we see this Saturday night? November 13th, 1992. On this one night, Riddick Bowe achieved greatness and lived his dream. Combining pure skill with discipline and focus, his potential appeared unlimited.
Bowe stuns him with an uppercut, and just like that, the champion struggles to stay on his feet. Holyfield in serious trouble now.
I hit him with some tremendous shots, and this guy would just come right back. And when I got him down, I guess they finally, for me, made me realize that I was the better man.
New heavyweight champion of the world, Riddick Bowe!
Bowe embraced the trappings of being champion. Long hours in the gym were replaced with coast-to-coast exposure and a world tour that included stops in Africa and the Vatican. In his first two title defenses, he was overwhelming against second-rate opponents.
And down goes Stokes into the ropes.
I'm a bad, bad man.
A spectacular performance by Riddick Bowe.
Questions began about his squandered promise in plowing through these easy setup fights. But the strategy backfired. An overconfident, out-of-shape Bowe became the biggest setup in the rematch with the ex-champ Holyfield.
For a stoppage here. It would shock the world.
I didn't train as long. I guess my head got a little too big. I didn't think that he could muster the same type of determination. I didn't think that Evander would be the same, but he fooled me.
Losing his championship sent Bowe's dedication into a major free fall. He was personally devastated.
When I did lose to Evander, I had a terrible Christmas. I don't want to feel like that no more, especially at Christmas, you know. I want to be happy, not only for myself, but, you know, for my kids and whatnot. And I think the squad as it kept, they kind of felt, you know, that Daddy wasn't, you know, all that happy. So I want to be happy from now on.
Millionaire Bowe seemed happiest away from the ring. The proud father of five showed more passion in building his new family. These distractions, along with lackluster performances against unthreatening opponents, ignited even more questions about his lost commitment. The focus and fire had faded.
He weighed in at an even 247 pounds.
Rated all of Bowe's skill and polish and ring intelligence Goldfield.
Maybe one with that good living.
A rusty, rough-hewn effort, but Riddick Bowe gets his KO.
When I was in the gym, I didn't pay as much attention to the people who were telling me, you know, what to do, like I should have. And perhaps that was the difference. So why was I going to be in the gym and kill myself in the gym and knowing that I'm fighting nobody?
This summer's showdown with amateur nemesis Jorge Gonzalez proved to be the somebody and the wake-up call he so desperately needed.
Another terrific right-hand shot for Riddick Bowe, and I got to tell you, Larry, I wasn't sure we'd ever see him look this good again.
He probably was at his very best when he fought Gonzalez.
When the masses think that he might not be able to do it, it challenges him to rise to his best. Whoever the critics are, I hope they continue with their criticism. It only makes Riddick Bowe better.
Bowe says he's not been this driven and dedicated since he grabbed the belts from Holyfield in their first fight. But the question remains, will he seize this opportunity and continue to assert himself?
I have to redeem myself. Evander Holyfield presents me with an opportunity to show the world that Riddick Bowe is the best heavyweight out there. And if I can beat Evander Holyfield in the third fight, then I'm at peace with myself.
There's a tremendous amount at stake here for Riddick Bowe, and in one victory, he can put a lid on all the criticism, redeem himself for having lost to Holyfield, and establish himself as the greatest heavyweight in the world.
Holyfield was the fighter that brought the very best out of Riddick Bowe.
It was the fight that made him champion of the world. It was also the fighter that took the championship away from him. It's burning inside of him. He's got to redeem himself.
And the most important thing for me about this fight is that I want to come out victorious. I want to show the people that Riddick Bowe can once capture what he had way back when, a couple of years ago.
For 2 years, the former champion has been haunted by that razor-thin loss to Holyfield, the only loss of his professional career. He's proven in the past he has been the best and showed how easy it was for him to fall from that peak. Is he back? The answer to that question will be given this Saturday night. Which is why there are a lot of folks who believe Bowe Holyfield 3 is Riddick Bowe's fight to lose. After all, if he's at his best physically and mentally, the conventional wisdom is that Bowe will be too big and too much for Evander Holyfield. When we come back, boxing's little big man, he still can't shake the label, blown up cruiserweight, even though he's been heavyweight champion of the world twice. Evander Holyfield has made a career of defying the odds and confounding the skeptics. The 33-year-old Holyfield has always had to work hard for everything he's achieved. He was the youngest of 8 children. In 10th grade, he weighed 110 pounds. When he graduated from high school, he was only 144. And ironically, his mother still calls her son what she did when he was just a baby. Chubby is how she addresses her multi-millionaire son. And in the land of the heavyweights, he has always had to overcome the label of blown-up cruiserweight. He has the will, the courage, and the heart of a champion. But ironically, even his heart was questioned medically. But those questions need not be asked any longer. Over his 11-year professional career, Evander Holyfield has developed an image, a modern-day warrior. He has defined himself with his sheer guts and his will to win. He has become a master of making more of himself than anyone ever gave him credit for. Evander Holyfield truly has the heart of a lion.
When they say heart of lion, they talk about determination. They talk about the will to win, discipline, crafty, a man that fear nothing. And that's what you look at when you see a lion, the king of the jungle. When you say, this man here is the king of the ring.
Holyfield had won the title, lost the title, and won the title again. But then in April of 1994 against Michael Moore, the unthinkable happened.
It was clear, first of all, that something was wrong in the fight because Holyfield hardly threw any punches. And after the fight, sure enough, he complained that he had severe shoulder pain. He immediately was rushed to the hospital, and they gave him medication for the shoulder pain and fluids for severe dehydration.
That's when I was diagnosed of a bad heart, and that's when they talked me into retiring.
What we see with his heart, though, is the elasticity is not quite normal. That it doesn't expand as easily as we would expect the heart to do.
If I continue to box, this could be bad on my health. And I think the most important thing in life is life.
While the rest of the world counted him out, Evander sought to get back into the ring.
A few weeks later, I went to a crusade, been a hand crusade. A lot of people come for healing, and I got a confirmation of that I was healed. And I claimed the healing.
Holyfield continued to get examined. Tests revealed his condition had improved. Miraculous recovery, or was Holyfield simply misdiagnosed?
The Nevada Commission said, okay, if you really think you're healed, we want you to be cleared medically by one of 3 independent hospitals. Evander chose the Mayo Clinic, and he went up there, and he was cleared. I don't think anybody in the medical or boxing community expected that was going to happen.
Although cleared by the Mayo Clinic, doctors offered this caution. It is advisable that the patient minimize dehydration whenever possible. Evander was given the green light, but the true test would come in the ring.
There's a right by Holyfield. Will he take enough advantage? There was a good left hook. And a left as well, and Holyfield loves it away, and Mercer goes down.
When he fought Ray Mercer, I think that answered everybody's questions. He took one of the toughest heavyweights out there who was virtually impossible to knock out. So that proves he had to be in the right kind of shape. And I think it answered all questions. I don't think his heart was that big of a problem. I think I kind of agree with the misdiagnosis.
I think people do care about me more than a boxer. They care about me as a person. They would like for me to get out this game and still have my faculties and still be loving and still being in good health. But what would make a person in their right mind think that I would just do something to injure myself?
With renewed confidence in his health, Evander Holyfield continues on a mission to be heavyweight champion of the world one more time.
But it's not where you're at, it's where you're going. I'm still pressing on towards the mark where I want to be. I have to think about how bad do you really want it? And are you willing to pay the price that's necessary to get back to that point and above that point? And once you make that decision, then you go out and give your all again.
Many wonder what Evander has left. If history repeats, he will need to push himself to the limits when he fights Bowe a third time.
Look at Holyfield. What a warrior. Reversing the tide of the battle. The champion now has Bowe wobbling.
Now I think when you look at Riddick and myself, you know, it's 1-1. I truly feel that Riddick Bowe is the best opponent out there. I need to fight the best people because the best people bring the best out of me. When I get into this fight, the whole world would see the two best fighters out there, and the best will take it to another level.
Evander Holyfield still believes he has what it takes to regain the heavyweight championship of the world. Evander Holyfield used to be consumed with the dream of joining Muhammad Ali as the only three-time heavyweight champion. But as he asked me the other day, who is the real champion? Which is the real belt? This is the state of boxing in 1995. When Countdown to Bowe Holyfield 3 continues, we will look at some of boxing's longest-running shows. Robinson LaMotta, Zale Graziano, Pep Sadler, and, of course, Ali Frazier.
In 1992, two great heavyweight champions turned in award-winning performances. When it was over, Riddick Bowe was the new champion. A year later, there was a sequel. It was another classic. This time, Evander Holyfield got his revenge. Bowe and Holyfield will fight again. Only one can be the best heavyweight in the world. Live from Caesar's Palace on pay-per-view, Saturday, November 4th. Call your cable or satellite company now.
Definition of a trilogy, according to Webster's, a series of 3 dramas that are closely related and develop one theme. Bowe Holyfield becomes the 4th trilogy in history. There was Johansson and Patterson, Ali and Norton, and of course, Ali and Frazier. But boxing trilogies are not the exclusive domain of the heavyweights.
The way it works is fighters have tremendous egos, and fighters have tremendous levels of confidence.
I've been hit a few times, but not as hard as Bowe hit me the first fight.
And when fighter A beats fighter B, the second time around, fighter A might be a little overconfident. Fighter B is smart enough to make the adjustments and has more motivation. So fighter B in the second fight comes back and wins.
And a left hand for Holyfield. And they swing and swing after the bell. And look at this. Hey, these guys want to fight.
Anytime you heard Evander, he was coming right back at you. And it seemed like for me, for some reason, when you heard him, he got stronger. So I got to the point where I was really trying not to hit him too hard to make him angry.
And then very often it takes the third fight to determine, all things being equal, who the better fighter is.
Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe for the 3rd time. A modern-day rivalry renewed out of respect and admiration for one another. A trilogy that harkens back to some of boxing's classic rubber match fights.
I think in each of those epic battles, each guy wanted to be the best. He wanted to prove that he can take a shot, give a shot, and when the smoke cleared, he could win. And I think I could pretty much kind of feel that with Evander Holyfield.
This fight here will be a combination of a lot of things because we know each other very well because we have worked with each other in sparring, and we have fought twice, and now in the third fight, you know, we have to be able to create something new that we may not expect from each other. So this fight would be very electrifying, and somebody would get knocked out in this fight.
It is what boxing used to be about, the best fighting the best. Maybe it's the last glimmer for a while of what this sport's supposed to be, because nothing seems to work in this sport.
Holyfield Bowe is a throwback to the old days, and it's rare. It's rare in the heavyweight division.
A right hand by Holyfield, and another. Round 10 continues after the bell.
When it's over, this rubber match, too, will be a part of boxing history. Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield have a healthy mutual respect for one another, as they should. Not only are they evenly matched warriors, they have become enormously successful business partners. When the cash is finally counted on this trilogy, these two men will have grossed and shared roughly $60 million. Come Saturday night, they'll also be fighting for pride, because really, there is no brass ring out there at the moment. The heavyweight division is so fragmented, the belts mean next to nothing. But there is little question that these two men, when they step into the ring at Caesar's Palace, will be the best in the world at what they do. And we'll be right back.
We're getting closer to fight night. We'll break down Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, Part 3, today on Up Close, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific.
Bowe Holyfield won in 1992 and Bowe Holyfield 2 in 1993 were both considered the fights of the year, both so close that if they'd been horse races, both would have required photo finishes.
Can Evander Holyfield beat a heavyweight who is both younger and bigger than himself? That is what we're here to find out.
But sooner or later, a fight is going to break out here. It might be sooner.
Holyfield wobbles Bowe onto the ropes. Left hook landed by Bowe after a right. Holyfield seemingly in trouble for the moment. Bowe throwing and throwing, now goes to the body. Holyfield somehow standing up, and Holyfield weathers the storm and comes back throwing.
That jab is working good. He can't get off. This guy's dying out there, baby.
Use that jab and keep your left hand high.
And he lands the right hand. Everybody in the Thomas and Mack Center on their feet. It could be all over for Evander Holyfield's heavyweight championship reign. He is not fighting.
On the back of the arena now,
they begin to rise and applaud what has been an extraordinary battle between two men of heart and will and courage and skill.
The only sequels I can think of that live up to the originals were Ali Fraser 3 and Godfather 2. But everybody is here hoping this fight can live up to the original. It's asking an awful lot.
And they swing and swing after the bell. And there is blood above Bowe's left eye. And somebody in a parachute has just landed on the edge of the ring. The fight has been brought to a halt, a monstrosity of an interruption in the bout. And knocking Bowe's mouthpiece out with a left hook. Holyfield unprotected. He's hurt. You're right, George. Riddick's got a huge chance here, and he's going at it with everything he's got. Crowd rises to its feet. For the second year in a row, they fought the fight of the year. Well, they call him the real deal. Tonight, he was all of that.
There are those who say that Riddick Bowe's career, despite his success, has been one of a classic underachiever. Evander Holyfield, on the other hand, the ultimate overachiever. It's a battle of the great big man against the sport's greatest little big man. And it's this Saturday night.
Troubled world of professional boxing, Bowe Holyfield is a welcome dose of legitimacy. Two quality fighters, both of whom agree this bout should be recognized as the true heavyweight championship. Who will come out on top in the rubber match? Keep in mind, the underdog won each of the first two fights. For more on Saturday night's affair, let's send it out to Charlie Steiner in Las Vegas.
The Bowe Holyfield promotion has lived a very charmed life this week. It began with opposition from Tyson Mathis. That went away. Then it was faced with a 75% chance of rain on Saturday. And that has gone away. Clear skies. It'll be a chilly night here in Las Vegas. The odds remain roughly the same. Riddick Bowe is a 3-to-1 favorite. And as we talk to various members of the media who are covering this fight, they side with the odds makers.
I think Riddick Bowe is going to win about 6 rounds. Couldn't knock him out, but Evander's cut progressively worse in his last 3 or 4 fights. I think he might stop it on cuts.
Remember, Bowe has age on his side and he has weight on his side. Those are the 2 key factors that I think are going to affect Holyfield.
There is a little bit of margin here based on the fact that if Evander can get inside and take away a little bit of Riddick's leverage, he can hurt him. But I just think Riddick is too much.
The referee for Saturday night's fight is Joe Cortez. He was the referee in Bowe Holyfield 1. He knows both men very well. Join us on Saturday night, a special 90-minute edition of SportsCenter beginning at 11:30 Eastern Time. Al Bernstein and John Saraceno will join me for all the post-fight coverage on our special edition of SportsCenter, Saturday night, 11:30 Eastern. I'm Charlie Steiner, ESPN, Caesars Palace, Las Vegas.
All right.
No one has ever questioned Evander Holyfield's heart, although there was concern as to whether it was functioning properly. The 33-year-old will be fighting for only the 2nd time since he retired because of a heart problem. But again, don't question his heart. Holyfield is predicting knockout.
What have you learned about Riddick Bowe, the man? You made quite a point of it in our program the other day, feeling that Bowe, quite frankly, was a dirty fighter in your first 2 fights. Were you sending him a message?
Oh, yes. I would let him know that, hey, these are the things that you did. They've been forgiven, We need not to have that in this, in this fight here. But if you start that, it's not like I'm going to sit back and take these shots.
Low blow, not called by Cortez at first, and now he does.
It's not about being dirty. It's not about these intentional fouls. He said, well, they wasn't intentional. Well, he may be right, they wasn't intentional, but now that he have got it from me that you have fouled me, there's no need for no more blows to go low and all that. So hopefully that this fight will be a little cleaner where we won't have to do no SS battling, after the bell.
And a left hand for Holyfield. And they swing after the bell. And look at this.
You know what Bowe and his people are saying. Oh, what's Evander belly aching about? It's a fist fight.
Well, no, but, that's rules and regulation in the game of boxing. When it's all over, when a decision is made, what keep my head high and keeping me from dropping my head, losing my attitude is to know that I did my best. And, and the referee decided that, it wasn't good enough to get his vote. Then, the judge, it wasn't good enough to get a vote. Then I got to stand with my head high. It's not for me to go bury my head and go take it out on somebody like I have lost the whole world. Boxing is just an aspect of my life. It's not my life, but, it's something that I want to do well in.
For post-fight coverage, there is only one serious place to turn, SportsCenter for 90 minutes, 11:30 p.m. Eastern to 1 a.m. Fight Night.